Hello, everyone, and welcome to my show. We're here for the human experience. We're going to talk about how we define the aspects of our lives that creates our lives. If we believe, I'm just having a few maybe technical problems, so just bear with me as well. So if we believe that wealth is, I'm going to use the examples of wealth and health. Okay? So if we believe that wealth is unattainable, then our very belief, our thoughts and emotions, gives us the evidence of that lack of money. It is about our belief system. Another example is if we believe we can't lose weight, then we won't. It is about our belief system, and it is that simple, our belief and our emotions. And we all know the quote, "You are what you think." So that if that's being true, which we believe that to be true, right? We can change any perspective. And if we can change any perspective we want, then we can create a life of wealth, better health, or both. And it's all totally possible when we look at our belief system. And when we have such a strong belief that we can't, for instance, that we can't lose weight, it makes it more challenging, and we try and try and try, and nothing changes. For me, I'm just going to use this here. So when we say that we want to lose weight, the word lose implies that we want to find it back. Watch the vibes of your words. I don't want to find it back. I'm releasing it, right? So in that, I will say to myself, I am ready to release the inappropriate weight. I greatly appreciate my body and my health. And I'll start just creating a new belief system. And I keep trying, right? We'll say these words, I keep trying, and nothing ever seems to change. Trying is another word that makes it feel that it is outside. It is down the future, in the future, not down the future, in the future, right? And Yoda says there is no try, there is only do. So if we're using those words, that's a clue for you. And what we believe about ourselves and the world impacts our world and our stress levels, right? Hi, if you're new here, greetings and welcome. I'm Lisa, an accredited life coach and Reiki master teacher with expertise in transformative mindset shifts, heightened emotional awareness, and establishing connections with our inner guides. My odyssey in self-awareness began in 2009, and since then I have dedicated myself to learning and sharing these invaluable insights. Tougher, the cat. You just never know what happens on a live, right? So if today's episode has struck a chord with you, I invite you to express your engagement by liking, sharing, and commenting. Your active participation will contribute to meaningful discussions and assist in navigating Facebook's algorithms, enabling us to reach and impact more individuals on their self-discovery journeys. Also, mark your calendars for an enriching experience. I'll be hosting a live in-person event on March 2nd titled Spring Cleaning for Our Mind, Body, and Spirit. You can find the details on my Mind, Body, and Spirit coaching page and join me in cultivating a refreshed and rejuvenated version of yourself as we embark on this transformative journey together, and that's March 2nd. I am looking forward to connecting with you. So, how do we define our lives, right? We want to know about defining our lives. What is the definition? What is the belief? What are we feeling, right? So what we believe about ourselves and the world impacts us, right? Our belief system can either empower us or cause us grief. We know this, right? We know this. So we can believe that we have plenty of money and never struggle, or we're taught that money doesn't grow on trees, right? The same goes for our health. And when we believe that we can't, as I said earlier, that we can't lose weight, or we say, I'll never shake this illness, we are commanding. We are saying that. That's like solidifying. I will never shake. So I will never shake this illness. Listen to those words. If you are using similar words, be mindful, because they are telling you that you are Now, solidifying that I may never shake this illness, or I'm trying to lose weight and I never get to lose, and I never lose weight, right? Those words have a huge vibe to them. So be mindful. And it's the same as even with our money, right? If I believe that I can't make money, or nothing ever works out for me, or I never have money, or I never have enough money, that's a belief system. So if I'm saying those words and believing it and the emotions to it, and then my life exhibits that very thing, then that helps to solidify my belief system, right? We don't want to solidify, we want to change our belief system, right? Especially for the things that are pinchy, that we struggle with. We want to change that. So it may be hard to believe that since it's so, we feel it so strongly about our health or wealth, just for example, our beliefs will override a potential new choice, and new information comes through because we see the evidence to confirm our belief. See, and I know, and I mean, I've said it myself, and I know other people have said it as well. See? See, I told you that would happen, right? I told you. Or we plan things. It's like, geez, I hope nothing happens on our trip. That is like putting it out there. We don't want to do that. I know that my trip is going to be spectacular. I know that I may have some bumps on the road, but that's life. And that's normal, normal. So most people will hit a point in their lives where they have to change how they think and feel. And since their current way of thinking has yet to produce any new changes, right? We keep thinking, we keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We actually have to change our thoughts. We have to recognize our old beliefs, I'll say, or limiting beliefs. We also have to recognize our energy or our vibe around them. So for myself, it was when my mind and the repetitive negative thoughts got to be so much that I had to make changes. I had to make changes. It felt like life was piling up with current issues and ones from the past, which I also now know have vibrational patterns. It was also another thing, I was raised that money didn't grow on trees, and that when money came in, it was spent on, I'll say, less than useful items at times, not always, of course, because life isn't like that. And it was about more in the moment. So there were struggles in my world growing up with money. My maternal grandparents were frail, for instance, with our health. So I spent a lot of time in hospitals and caregiving. And at one point when I was young, and I don't really remember when, it was just like I thought, no, I don't want to live my life like this. I don't want this to be my pattern of health. And I got to say, a few times that I've had to fill out medical questionnaires, most of the doctors I saw had some concerns that my family's health would be mine. And I thought, absolutely not, because I can make a choice. We're also here for the human experience. So everything has an opportunity, or we have that opportunity to learn about even negative, I'll say, experiences in our life. And it comes down to how we want to define our life, define our family, our friends, community, everything. How do we define everything? Personal things in my life, physical things in my life. And whether it's in a positive light or a negative, the more you feel about those creates that vibrational pattern that keeps showing up in our life, right? What we put out, we get back. The wonderful news is that we can change our thinking and beliefs by recognizing that we have this vibrational pattern that is no longer suitable for us, and we can create new ones. It's like changing the channel. I'm tired of watching this show, right? If my life is like a sitcom or a drama show, I have the ability to change it. Does it take a bit of time? Potentially, yeah, it may. But I tell you what, I'm tired of watching the same show, so I'm going to do everything that I can to change that channel, or to change the vibrational frequency of my thoughts and my emotions. So if we think of life as an experience, because we're here for the human experience, it means that I can choose what I want to experience. For instance, I haven't had a cold since 2019. I had a brief 3-day thing here earlier, I guess in January. Um, but I haven't had a cold since 2019 because I just thought I've had this experience and I don't want to keep having this experience unless my body decides that it needs to. Apparently in January it needed to. But we were also talking about colds. And I was saying, oh, when I was a kid, this is how the belief system works. When I was a kid, I always used to get really sick. A chest cold at Christmas time. And it was awful, like a horrible chest cold. So then all of a sudden, come January, I've got this little bit of a chest cold and things. And then I'm like, oh, that's how I created it. So our thoughts create along with the emotions. So we can create the experience. So we can create negative experiences. Why aren't we creating positive experiences? Why don't we look at our belief system, how we define our lives? Because then we can make a choice. Doesn't mean we're going to change things, but at least then we have the awareness that we can. So it's kind of like planning a trip, right? We do these things all the time. We plan a trip, we select a destination and off we go. And like I mentioned earlier, right, then we'll say, I hope nothing bad happens on our trip. Hope is another word there that pushes out. It's not a great vibe word. Depends on how it makes you feel, of course, because it all comes back to how you feel. So it is about the experience I choose to have. I'm not going to put stuff out there that I don't want to experience, right? And if I do, I'm okay with it because we're here for the human experience and life is just as it is at times, right? And sometimes we learn what it was after, why that happened after. It's like, oh, I see why that happened, right? Everything happens for a reason as well. So it's no different than when we do these things all the time. We decide to buy a new car, we don't think anything of it. It's just like, I need a new car. I can decide to have good health. I can decide to have more money, better relationships, better experiences, whatever it is that is giving me a bit of a pinch point or I feel that I'm stuck on. I can have a good day, wonderful interactions. Our experiences are endless and everything is totally possible. It's all in how you want to think about it and feel about it. So we do this all day long, and when it comes to something with more vibrational momentum, like our health and wealth, we may find that we have some areas that we become stuck in and struggle with to move forward on them. But depending on the words that you're using, will give you the indicator of where you may be stuck. It's kind of like the saying, right? We can't see the forest for the trees. We can change how we define the aspects of our lives, and we do it so many times a day. We spend a lot of time, like I had mentioned in another video, about sleepwalking or autopilot. We're on autopilot 95% of the time. But once we become more aware of some of the actions, our narrative, our beliefs, then we can totally start to shift that. Let me ask you, so when people tell you it can't be done, do you believe them? Or do you just continue on and go, yeah, I got this, I'm going to do this, right? Here's another one. Don't get your hopes up. And sometimes I still hear that statement when I'm planning things out in my life and my world. Don't get your hopes up. It's like, what? Of course, because I'm expecting things to be different. So just be mindful, because you might even be saying that to yourself. Chances are you probably are. And it's coming from our past, society, right? We don't need to blame anything. We don't need to blame anyone or anything. It's about taking responsibility for ourselves. So, are you letting others define their limitations and preventing you from creating or changing what you want in life, right? Lots of people will say, right, don't get your hopes up, or I hope it all works out for you, or, those kinds of statements. So we want to just be mindful of it. And if we answered yes to these questions, then ask yourself, do you want to continue to do so? Here's another one. Do you do that to other people? Totally. have done that, absolutely, and do, right? They're again here for the human experience. But it's about becoming more aware of yourself, self-actualizing, self-awareness, right? Creates that energy of more inner peace and calm. So if we answer yes to these questions, then you are repeating a story. Because if you're doing it to others, then that means you are repeating a story with a vibrational belief pattern. And it totally has a clue for you. So ultimately, we can change the channel of our lives and how we define old beliefs and held emotions. 100% we can. It is totally possible. Excuse me. It's a process of deciding that we want to change. Simple as that. I want to make changes in my life. What are my pinch points? What is bugging me, right? What is my narrative saying, right? It's a deciding that I want to change. No different than when I quit smoking, right? Or anybody who quits smoking or shifts their life. We decide. It has to be a decision. And we will pursue that, right? So it's like I just decided one day I'm going to quit smoking. It was a process, absolutely. But eventually I quit smoking, and now I don't even know how many years I haven't smoked. It's awesome. We also want to recognize how we define what we want to change, right? For example, as I'm talking about our health and wealth. We want to define our emotions as well, right? Connect them all together, our thoughts and our emotions, our feelings. Even when I quit smoking, it was like, why do I like smoking? What part of this is beneficial to me? And mostly it turned out to be not beneficial, right? And for so many reasons, right? We also want to create new beliefs, thoughts, and emotions so that we can choose those thoughts and feelings when the old beliefs come up. So in my process of quitting smoking or changing my health or my wealth, it is that when the old belief system comes up and starts to interfere, I already have a new belief system that I will interject in there and say, no, this is my new belief system. And I will repeat the words, because I make the words, I will bring in the emotions of that. So I want to, if I'm removing an old belief, I need to have a new belief, right? Because that's how we make those changes. So we can change our belief that for our finances, we can change our belief that there are ample opportunities for financial success, that our efforts can lead to prosperity. Of course, totally possible. We can appreciate our body's abilities and the abundance of choices for a healthy lifestyle. Totally possible. It's about how you're using your words and how they vibe, right? And please do not get discouraged, because we do have setbacks that are natural. It's a natural part of our journey. We're just meant to learn from them, use them as opportunities for growth, and remain consistent in working towards our well-being. Consistency is key, and sometimes I might not be consistent today, or I might not be consistent this morning, and I will be this afternoon. It's not a 24-hour, 7 days a week thing. It's about being mindful and conscious and start implementing new changes, new beliefs, new patterns, new vibes. So, pushing through or ignoring the pinches in our lives impacts our present and shapes the tapestry of our emotions and experiences. As we bravely confront and define these moments, we are unlocking the power to heal and release them, which is what we want to do. And that's paving the way for a brighter future, more conscious and awareness future. In those moments, remember to just take a deep breath. And within every breath lies the strength to make choices that mold our journeys. Join me next week as we skillfully navigate the intricate matrix of our mind, body, and spirit. And always keep in mind that we are here for a profound human experience. For further exploration and connection, you can visit my website, Lisa Hyde Life Coach. Connect with me on Facebook. I will see you again next week. Bye for now.